Welcome to this channel where we explore all things mycology and so much more. From a single nucleus to cultures we create, experimentation and innovation is never too late. Join me on this adventure where follow science plays.
Thank you for joining me today. Well, as you see, there's a lot going on here. And what this video is going to be about is working with our liquid cultures. Either it be from syringes we haven't used yet, syringes we made, pre-mixed liquid culture like over here, or my first liquid culture I did with a Dikaryon over here. And we got some cultures up here that are over a year old. And then we got some cultures over here in the mail that we haven't even opened yet. So hopefully I'll be able to cover all the bases of working with liquid cultures and cleaning them up and getting them ready for storage, or for the winter series and other projects. Like this liquid culture is from 2023. It was a pre-made liquid culture from seismic spore. This was my first liquid culture I ever purchased that I got from Edward Grand, and that's when he released his first liquid haploid Dikaryon. And it was the first culture that produced a pellica. So we're going to see if the mycelium is clean and viable down here. And then we're going to take a transfer from the pellica and see how it reacts going to a plate. And then that way we can free up these jars for experiments later on. So I got to clean up my room here and get a plan so we can move through this with a smooth workflow. I've already pre-labeled my dishes for the syringes or the project. I just got to remember I got to write the dates on it and make sure I put things in order. So I've just got to organize things. I'll be back in a bit. So we're back in business and we got a plan. And I think what we're going to do by vendor and species. So we'll start out with some gourmets. And I didn't know till the beginning of this year that Inoculate the World also has gourmets. So we're going to give them a shot. And I got these a couple weeks ago. Another plus of checking our cultures is some things happen in the mail. Cultures may go through temperature shifts, or something may happen in the lab where there's a contaminant. And if you just take your culture and just stick it to your grain, inoculate your grain, all that time you put in that grain could be ruined. And then you're wondering what happened. Was it the culture or was it the grain? So to make sure your cultures are clean, we do a liquid culture test. And the best way to do it when you get a new culture is to set up your camera and do a little recording session like this. Show you got clean plates, unopened cultures, and if there ends up being a contaminant, then you got something to work with. But if you send it to grain, they could say it was your grain, not the culture. So always look out for yourself and test your cultures. So I'm going to spray my syringes down one more time. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cap off and just give it a little squeeze and put a little drop or so on the dish. So we'll look at our first one is Filipino. Let's shake up our culture a little bit. I'm going to do another video coming up. I've been working on a new technique or a new way to use liquid cultures in the syringe, and you won't have to worry about clumping issues at all. So we take our cap off, and then we're just going to take our plate and do a little squeeze. There's 1 drop, 2 drops, 3 drops, 4 drops, 5 drops. And if you look, there's my drops. And so I'm just going to kind of swish it around a little bit and tilt it around and spread it out, and not letting it run up the sides and just keeping it on the agar. And that's our first one. So that one is done. Now I'm just gonna, pretty much it's the same way through all of them. So I'm just gonna run through them. So next will be former Natalensis, now Ocracian Centra. These are about a year old too. And these are black cap, regular, green cap. You shake these up, spray them down. They're definitely looking pretty thick. You know what? Now that I took these out of the package, I'm not even going to mess with them. So they don't even look healthy. Fuck it, I got the plates. Let's just do it.
These ones might give me the opportunity to use my staining kit.
So let's do black cap first.
If they turn out to be contaminated, we can use some stains in the microscope and see what contaminated them.
Original. They don't look good, but we'll see what happens. I already made the plates. These, I'm not sure if they even have a date. These are almost 2 years old. Wow. And that's a wine cap. And then this one here is a shiitake. We're going to do the shiitake first. Spray them down. Spray our hands. There's our shiitake. Oh, I didn't even know. Oh, wow. I didn't know that the long tube was used to pull out those caps. This is worth doing the video all by itself now. Wow. Look at that.
Many times I struggled with these small caps and had to use a pair of pliers.
That is tight. Well, gotta get that air bubble out of it. There we go. Let's see how this shiitake goes. Next we got wine cap, King Stropharia. Oh, that one was nice. Not much air at all. Alright, so we got those down. So now it's time for the mail-in cultures. This one I've been waiting for a while. All excited. I got a handwritten note. Can't wait to read it. Oh, look at that beauty. Appalachian Enoki from Mossy Creek Mushroom. And then this container. Figure out how to open it. Oh boy, what we got here? Well, look at that. That's a pretty cool slab. So this is Inoculate the World Snowball. And Appalachian Enoki from Mossy Creek Mushroom is going to be showcased in my winter series grow. That's soon to be turning spring. I need to get rolling here. Oh, I look at that. Nice little package. Spray our culture down. Oh, it must be only certain ones do it. Well, I still gripped it. Alright, so let's try the Snowball. Appalachian Enoki. Got some nice particles in there. Didn't get no air back in it. That's going to be great. And there's one more I gotta do, and that's another syringe that's over a year old. Kind of awkward that one was. So wrap those. We're doing pretty good. We're moving right through this. That was a lot of syringes. There we go. So I even had a plate because I was going to test the Pelica. But then I thought that'd be a waste of a plate because if my syringe contaminates, then there's no sense of messing with that. So we're going to use our needle and syringe. Take an isopropyl pad, put it on that plunger. Take an isopropyl pad, put it on that self-healing injection port that I call the plunger over here, but they're both self-healing injection ports. We'll open up our syringe. And open up our needle, making sure not to touch the end. Take it right out. Assemble your syringe. Alrighty. So, check this. We're going to take our syringe, let our alcohol saturate that ship. And I'm going to see if I can get some of that mycelium up off the bottom. I thought about drawing through that tube, but I drew through that the first time about a year ago. I haven't drawn through it since. But this jar used to be all the way up here. I used a lot of LC out of this. So let's put a little spin on the bottom. Oh, we agitated a little bit. Let's see if we can get some mycelium. Not quite a bit. Oh, the Pelica broke off. And then the next one, get a little bit of this. Be very surprised if this is not contaminated. It hasn't shown me any signs that it was. Let's check this one. So, we got all my LC tests that I needed to get caught up, done with. We learned out that you can take the ends of caps off with these tubes for the needles I didn't know that. So we got our liquid cultures, test plates all done. And now we just gotta wait and observe for growth. I would say between 4 days and a week, we might be able to determine if what plates are good and what are bad, and that'll free up some room in the lab. So by testing your cultures, you're not also making sure you're not making any work for yourself, but you're also making sure you don't get taken advantage of. I'll put these down below and we'll check them in a week or so. Well, today is the second day after doing our test plates. Thanks to the video, I was able to fix the mistake I did. I inoculated the wrong plate, so we got that fixed. Not seeing any signs of contaminants, so we're doing good so far. So let's just run through them really quick. Nothing there. Got something going on there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Not seeing any mycelium growth yet, but we're not seeing any contaminants, except that possible that one. So we're all looking good. Oh, I thought that was something. Oh, nothing yet. Oh boy. Wow. Look at that. There's a winner. Appalachian Enoki by Mossy Creek Mushroom. 2 days after inoculation. Beautiful. What is this one? This is Snowball from Inoculate the World. You got a little bit of mycelium growing there. So, that's what we got in 2 days. We'll set them back in my Tupperware container and we'll check them here in a couple more days. So now it's the third day of observable growth. So now we did the test plates and we can see that there's no contaminants. Let's expand our liquid culture. So I have 2 light malt extract liquid cultures, self-healing injection ports, alcohol pad, and then an alcohol pad. And we let that sit on the ship while we set up our syringes. Since these needles are unopened, they're sterile right out of the package, so let's add them to our syringe. Let's shake it up. And then all I'm going to do is just inject some of that liquid culture. We have 10. Let's shoot in 1 milliliter. Take our cap. And there's our Appalachian Enoki. See all the particles in there? Alrighty, let's take our alcohol pad and let's put 2 milliliters in this one. Oh, here we go. Can't get it out. I think I got some in there. That was kind of difficult. So we got a clump in there. That's all right. You can see some of the mycelium made it. So that's all we need. Clean test plates leaded to extended liquid cultures. So the verdict is in. We've done exactly a week, and I organized them from first to show signs of growth to the last. And what came out on top was Inoculate the World Snowball and Mossy Creek Mushroom. So these two on the third day. These fourth day. And these are the ones I mixed up. I still gotta fix it, but we'll get to that because I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So this is another fourth day. Really surprised these ones came out clean. And, you know, if you would have looked at that syringe, you wouldn't have thought that that would have came out clean and thrown it away. But we even got individual transfer to take out, so I'm happy. We got some growth down here on that. That's on the shiitake. And these were our fifth day. That's the Enoki. That's the original pea okra. And there's our wine cap. Even the haploid monoculture ToqueF9 tested clean. And even though it's not dark, I still call it a success because this is a test I'd done out of that same jar last year. And it looked just like that. It's because it's a monokaryon. It's more a tomatose mycelium compared to something that's like rhizomorphic like this. So now that that tested good, we can play around with the Pelica and see what we can do with that. And then day 6. Look at that growth sticking on. Each one of those is a colony. And that's on the lion's mane. And then oh, that's a second test, liquid culture test. Look at that. On the ToqueF9. And then we got these nice little growths. That was on that seismic spore from 2023. Wow. Still tested clean. And then these ones here, I'm not 100% sure. But this one here kind of looked like how that one started out. And how that one started out. And they're clean. It's just a lot of growth. So we'll keep an eye on this one and then an eye on this one. But it's got a little bit going on. So pretty much everything but 2 plates tested clean, showed growth. They just did different stages. And that could have been also due to the stresses that they could be possibly in. Some of them were new and some were over 2 years old. And then we had some that we had in jars already that were in those jars throughout the whole 2024. Now that we got this all cleaned up, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Pretty much all what I'm going to do covers all these except the Dikaryon or the Haploid, because I got to treat that a little different. But see, this is all single colonies. So I'm just going to look for a strong colony and transfer it out. Like that one, I'm just going to let go. That's just going to stay on its own plate. Like I look at this one, and I see like there's one way out there by itself. I could grab that, but that one looked like it could be a good one. That one looked like it could be a good one. And then I'm just going to take out one of these single colonies. So I'm just going to pick through the single colonies on the ones that can fruit, the Dikaryons. But definitely I'm going to transfer out that, or probably that one up there all by itself. I'm just amazed at that. Tested clean. By looking at it, you wouldn't have thought that it was gonna. Take your colonies, you just put them on another plate and you just keep working it. So most likely throughout the year, these plates will resurface in our journey. I really enjoyed doing this experiment. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. We went through all of our liquid cultures. We did our tests. We did our inspection, and I'm so glad that I did it and not went by what the cultures looked like, because I probably wouldn't have some of these plates right now. And it just goes to show, doing your tests on your cultures, either it be something you get in the mail or something that you're working with, before sending it to grain. This saves a lot of work and a lot of aggravation. If you add it to your mycology toolbox, I'd love to hear how it goes. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them below. Please like, share, and subscribe so you stay notified. And I'll see you on the flip side. You guys all have a great day.